Hey y'all, welcome to day 6. Can you believe we've been doing this straight for 6 days? This is the first time I've ever gone live this many days in a row. I know it's been slightly sporadic on timing wise a couple of days, but we're here, we're showing up, we're doing what we need to do, which is the most important thing. And so today we're talking about what does it look like to be full strength? And what does that even mean? So if you look up the definition of full strength, which I did for you because I like words, the definition of full strength is with the full number of people, specifically for hockey. It's when they can play all the people on one side versus all the people on the other side. Who knew that there was a word for that? But it also means undiluted or unadulterated. When something is of the highest concentration, it's full strength. So that's something that, what does that mean for you? What does full strength you look like? And I know we talked about this a little bit yesterday, of this idea of showing up as who are you and how are you showing up in the person that you are? Well, that question seems kind of easy until you start to answer it. So for those of you who started to actually do the work, because that's the thing here, this is not about business at the end of the day. This is about how are we showing up in a way that makes us better people long term, and the business gets better because of that. And so, what is full strength to you? Going back to yesterday's question, who are you? Who do you want to be? And so, one of the things that I've mentioned here before is that I'm a sparkly frickin' fairy. And what does that look like? And it's funny, my friends will tease me about this, is that I can show up as full strength Kabrina in some situations where I feel more comfortable. Like I went to brunch with one of my friends today and I was able to show up as full strength Kabrina. I'm going out with said friend, the girl that he likes, and another friend in our group. And I don't know that I'm going to be able to show up full strength. And so I was like, what does it take? That's where this live came from. What does it take to show up as full strength? How can you be full strength? And a couple of those things that, the very little bit of the internet that talks about how to show up as yourself. One of those things is creating a goal. So I'm creating this goal of, okay, we're just going to prove to Kabrina that actually, let's back up a little bit. The reason that proof is so important in figuring out these things for yourself when you create goals is because if you create a goal that you don't think is possible, it's harder for you to find it. So we have to create evidence. We have to find the evidence out there and curate that evidence in order for us to believe that that thing is possible for us. For example, my other friend this morning texts us and she's describing this guy that she met who seems like perfect in all the ways except for one way that actually would be perfect for me, that I have put on my list of things that I absolutely need in somebody, but it doesn't work for her. And it's funny because I'm like, oh, I looked at my friend and I said, there's proof that these people exist, that they are around, that is able to happen, because I had kind of resided that this thing didn't exist. And so how could I be this person? Another example of this is I was talking with one of my coaches and, there's this sadly idea that if you are a single mom, you are not successful. And it is permeated through a lot of our culture. Well, I'm a single mom and I'm successful. I'm not as successful as I want to be, but I am successful. And so with that thought process has held me back. And so she was like, who do you know that is a single mom who is the success that you want to be? And so it's forced me to go find those people. If you are one of those people, you can just drop it in the comments too. I'm always looking for this evidence that makes it possible for the goals that I have to not seem so big and scary because somebody else has done it. So with that being said, my goal tonight is just to prove to myself that I can get somebody to give me their phone number. That's it. Just to show up be me in the way that I am and not do anything crazy, not like make this like a scavenger hunt where I'm purposefully asking people to give me their number, but be in the moment in enough ways to where I can just prove to myself that it is physically possible. It's not that it's never happened before. So I have evidence, but at the same time, I want to prove it to myself that that can happen. And so, what is that today for you that you need to prove to yourself? What is the thing that you're like, I have this goal, but I've never seen it happen, or I've never achieved this? It's kind of like that if you've never gotten to 10K months before. We know it's possible, and people have gotten to 10K months before. It's totally doable. But if you haven't been there before, it doesn't feel doable. What about 20K months? What about 50K months? What about $1 million a year? What does that look like for you? And what is that big thing that you're searching for? And same idea on that is the thing that you're striving for is your goal, or is it somebody else's? Is it a goal that you want to achieve and you actually have a reason why you want to achieve that and that goes with the big why that you actually want to do that we talked about at the beginning of the week? Or is it just, well, everybody says that I should hit 10K months. Everybody says that I should be a 7-figure entrepreneur. Everybody says fill in the blank with whatever it is for you. But is that what you want? Do you want $1 million business? Or do you want a $400,000 a year business where you can hire a couple people in and then you still can have the life that you thought that you wanted in $1 million? If you want $1 million business, that's fabulous. You could want a 50 million, $1 billion business. That's not the point. The point is it what you want? Are you doing the thing that you want to do because you want to do it? Or are you doing it because somebody else put that dream on you? And the thing that I found myself doing was I'm better at not doing the things that people say that I should do. I actually do the opposite, and I will make myself smaller if I think that I'm getting in the path of somebody else doing the thing that they're supposed to be doing that they desire to do, like there's not enough room for the two of us. And so, what is it for you? Are you making yourself too small? Are you fitting into somebody else's dream and trying to achieve that dream? Or are you actually going after something that is yours, that you want to do, that's going to change your life because it goes with the why that you have and the reason that you want to be here and the people that you want to help and the business that you want to have? Because if it's not, why are you doing it? Why are you here doing the things that you're doing if it's not going to ultimately lead to the place you want to go? Because yeah, the big gurus in the space, the bro marketers, all these people will tell you, you need to do this. You have to do this. If you don't do it this way, you're never going to survive. And if you don't buy this, blah, 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 blah. We all know that's not true. Will I be launching something on Monday? Absolutely. If you don't get it, is it going to ruin your life? No. Is there information in there that will help you get to where you want to go faster? Yes. Is all the information about everything that you could get in any single course on the internet? Yep. Why do we buy courses? Why do we go to college? Why do we do the things that we do? So that we can do it faster. We can have it curated for us. We don't have to go and search for it and waste the time doing it. And then you get to decide who those people are, who those personalities are. There's lots of people who teach the things that I'm learning, and I picked the people that I work with for specific reasons. And it's not because they're better or those other people are bad or anything. It has nothing to do with that. It's what did I resonate with? Which brings us back to what we started this in the first place, is when you're full strength, there are goods and there is bads to that. The good is that you will pull in the people that are for you. And then it's actually good that you're pushing away the people that aren't for you, but it can feel bad when people aren't sticking around. They're not the people that are supposed to be in your life. They're the people that are unsubscribing. And it feels yucky in the business world, but it's easier to see it in the personal life of if you're being full strength you, and all of a sudden there's friends that just don't want to stick around anymore. It feels yucky because they've unsubscribed. But if people unsubscribe from you because they don't want to get that newsletter all the time from you, in real life, that person that is you, bless and release. Let them move on to the next thing, because you don't want everybody. You want the people that are made for you, that resonate with you, that are your people in your real life, in dating, friends, wherever you are, and in business. Because that's when things start to feel aligned, is I'm doing what I know that I'm supposed to be doing, and only the people that are supposed to be with me are coming along for the ride. Because can I get a witness that dragging somebody else's dumbass up a hill, forcing them to go with you because they don't want to, is the most exhausting thing that keeps you from doing the thing that you were supposed to be doing in the first place? And that is your lesson for today. So I hope that you will stick around, because I love you and it's going to be great and we're going to have fun and we're going to do crazy things and we're going to test stuff. But if you don't want to stick around, cool. Bless and release. It's not good or bad if you don't want to stick around. You can totally unsubscribe. And that's the beauty of this. You get to make the decision. You get to decide if you want to come on this ride with me. You get to decide if you're going to go on this ride with your people. And you get to make the decision at the end of the day. You have complete and utter autonomy over yourself and your decisions, even when it doesn't feel like it. You get to choose. And if you feel like you can't choose, that's when you need to do some soul searching, I highly suggest therapy, being in a spot where you can go, am I in a spot where I need to get help? And there's lots of kinds of help. We can't say that everybody is in a perfect situation, but at the same time, like, what does that look like for you? If you are in a very stable relationship and situation and all that stuff, and you still feel like you can't make decisions for yourself, we need to have a conversation. What does it look like for you to make decisions? What does it look like for you to have autonomy and to move forward and to do the things that you want to do, so that when you're 80 and sitting on that porch in the rocking chair, looking back at your life, you're not going, man, I wish I would have fill in the blank. I don't want anybody who hangs out with me, nor myself, to look back on their life and go, I wish I would have. I want them to be saying, oh my God, don't you remember when? Sorry, I'm going to cry. Because you want to be able to tell the story, not wish that you had the story to tell. At the end of the day, that's what you want. And that's what I hope for you. In anything that you do, anybody that you work with, whatever you build in your business and in your life, that is what I wish for you. Because nothing should hold you back from what you were put on this earth to do, no matter what. So, until tomorrow, my friend.